No. Off. Shoot.
They'll go with their leading rusher from a season ago. This is Aaron Jones. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 13 yards, first down, Packers.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Tackle made that time by Anthony Barr.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
You.
Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. They'll fight forward for a couple down inside the 40.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
The line to gain is the 33 on 3rd down. Shotgun now for Rodgers. That's caught by Geronimo Allison. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game, but it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
If it was sunny, maybe this is a field goal attempt, but with the rain, they're going to go for it on 4th down. The 3rd year back from BYU, Jamal Williams with a carry. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. A solid pickup of 5 and a very solid 4th down conversion, and defensively pure frustration.
1st and 10 at the 29-yard line.
The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down.
Come to my work. We want it. Come to my work. Lance. Motion backfield. Check hot route.
Back to the ground, this time with Jones. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
Oh, you got deep? Check. White left. Check 24. Shift.
On 2nd and 9, Rodgers. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Anthony Harris. And to the 12. That's where it stops. The return is halted at the 12-yard line. So a pretty shaky start here for both sides.
Yeah, each quarterback's throwing a ball to the other team. Do you think on both sidelines they're sitting them down and saying, okay, remember, this is the color jersey we're wearing. They're wearing the other color. Let's make sure we get it to our guys, please.
And here's a good way to kick off a drive, complete over the middle. And he gets this one just shy of the 35 to the 34. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
Watch the screen. Tight dog. Lucky 48.
Here's Cousins. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Montravius Adams able to drop him for a loss of a couple. Well, they were coming out of the 4-3 defensively. Pressure coming off that right side from the DN.
And that's the blind side of most quarterbacks. If you're right-handed, that's the side you don't see quite as well, and that's why you rely on your...
Well, the pressure gets to him again. They could not contain Kenny Clark as he gets home for the sack. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
So now after the sack, Cousins and the Vikings come up here 3rd and long. 3rd and long for Cousins. And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're saying.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. Shrugs the tackle.
Nice.
Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And it'll be Packer football here. 1st down and 10. About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
But how about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge thank you. You said didn't lead to points, stalled off that drive. Now they've got a chance to redeem themselves and maybe reward their defense a little bit by putting some points on the board on this one.
The 26-yard line.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. Rodgers now to throw. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. An incomplete pass on 2nd down. That muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10. From the gun, it's Rodgers. And this is caught. Mercedes Lewis with the ground. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A good pickup there at 22.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What do the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open, he finds a way to pick up a 1st down.
To throw, it's Rodgers. And he hits his target, the tight end Lewis. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
That's a good-looking play to me. The big tight end on a crossing route coming underneath. Sometimes he can gain some serious momentum going forward, can he?
Yeah, he can indeed, and pretty well executed there. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
He's checking. Crash.
And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
On 2nd down, it's Jones. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. A gain of just a yard, but it's a 1st down.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the 1st down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the 1st down. That's exactly what they did. One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
On 2nd down now, it's Jones. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
But we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
Into the red zone, it's Rodgers. Got an open man, it's Valdez-Scantling. And he is out of bounds right around the 10-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. Seems as if the passing attack's starting to heat up a little bit here in the 2nd quarter.
You can sense and you can see the momentum because now they're reading their patterns downfield, they're understanding the coverages, and they're finding the open holes in the defense.
They still need about the length of the football here, maybe a little less as they come up on 2nd and inches.
Check 31, check 31.
On the counter, here's Jones. And yet again, he stopped behind the line of scrimmage. Great job by this Vikings defense. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll be 3rd down.
Watch 54, watch 54. You better bring it. You better bring it.
Working from the gun, Rodgers. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. More problems here on 3rd down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on 3rd down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You got to get it done with your offensive unit.
So they get 3, certainly hoping for 6 after a 13-play drive.
So you console yourself on defense by saying you did your job, right? If they go 13 plays, you only give up a field goal, you did a nice job there. But here's the other part. 13 plays, you don't force any mistakes, you don't take the ball away. Maybe that's the way they should look at it.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on the...
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Kyler Fackrell, the linebacker. And his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Well, what do you think? You get the ball off the turnover near the middle of the field. You take a shot here in the first play?
You know I'm big on that. I love when I have great field position. After a turnover like that, I might have a little bit off balance. I prefer to take a shot, but a lot of coaches will tell you, you only do it if you trust the guy who's got the football in his hands. Meaning, if it's not there, he won't force it downfield and maybe turn into an interception. He'll go to the check down, go to a second option, and go ahead and take the play that's in front of him.
Now a man open down the middle of the field. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 11 yards there, 1st down. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. Here's Rodgers to throw. Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the former first-rounder Trey Waynes. You don't see this often. A quarterback of his caliber, 2 first-half interceptions.
It's absolutely surprising because it happens so rarely. You're searching for what reason, what's going on out there. It's not just maybe the defense is playing well. Is his horoscope off? His biorhythms? What is it?
You went horoscope on us, David.
Well, I was thinking maybe REM sleep was off.
And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Adrian Amos with a pick. And they will set up shop in enemy territory at the 42-yard line. That hold coming from the left side of the line.
Hands got caught in the cookie jar on that one, and the flag came out. Penalty against him.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They've shown very little offensively to this point. Well, neither team has really. They come up here now, first down. To throw is Cousins. And he's got room. And he'll be brought down around the 7-yard line. They had him back deep, got the interception, and now they start inside the 10.
Partner forgets starting inside the red zone. They're inside the green zone. From the 10-yard line in, a lot of teams call it that because that's the money zone. Get it into the end zone and make your cash.
So now, just like that, things change dramatically. It's first and goal.
25. Right now. Check 25. Check nickel, nickel, nickel. Get it down.
Now Jones. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down. That was shades of Tennessee volunteer football back in the 80s with Charles Davis coming up from the secondary to make the tackle for a loss.
You mean my teammates doing that, right? Because they would tell you, my coach would say, where's that tape? I want to see that. But how about the complete package there? Not just playing the pass, but being a willing tackler and making a really nice play.
And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. The second down play results in a loss of 2 yards. Second quarter, 2 minutes remain. 3-0 our score. They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes third and goal. Coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in his second week of the regular season. Rodgers now on third and goal. The connection made. It's Graham. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. A gain of 5, but not enough. Leads to a 4th and goal. And the 12-year veteran knocks it right through, and they're able to double their lead in this first half. It's 6-0. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces them to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They are still in search of their first points of the ball game, but only down 6-0 as they begin with a first down. And now the drive starts with a completion out to the right. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. Throwing again on second down. Cousins. It's complete to Laquan Treadwell. Could we get a touchdown in this first half after all? It's 1st and 10. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. First red zone chance now for the Vikings. It's 1st and 10 at the 14. Again, it's Cousins. This is caught, and he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Adam Thielen, his first touchdown here of the new campaign, as his guys can now take the lead with the extra point. Dan Bailey now for the extra point. And that one will give them the lead here as we approach halftime.
Makes the score Vikings 7, Packers 6.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be taken very short. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30.
At their own 32-yard line.
About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. Under a minute to play here in the half. Time for a late drive.
It makes sense when you think about it. Hey, try and get a field goal. Give yourself a lead going into the half. But if you're going to do this, you better have supreme trust in your quarterback. Supreme trust in the guy who's going to handle the football. Because if you turn it over here, not only do you go in down at the half, you've given the momentum squarely to your opponent.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32.
Ain't no such thing as a loss. We taking wins.
Rodgers going to throw again. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So the contact came before the ball got there, and the flag is thrown.
Timing is everything, isn't it? And it's so hard to cover these great receivers. They have such great body control, and they can fake you out. In this case, as you described, got there before the ball got to the receiver. Penalty flag had to come out.
The throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Rodgers gets this to his running back, Aaron Jones. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. They'll need to get it to the 30 for a first. This is 3rd down. Rodgers to throw once more. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down.
It's 4th down.
On now is Mason Crosby, who's hit from as far as 58 in his career. This will be from 56 yards out. And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. Now, the drive ends in just 3, but they'll take it. Looks like they'll head to the locker room, barring something unfortunate in front on the scoreboard.
Yeah, they may not be jumping up and down and celebrating because they have the lead, but still, any little momentum in a game like this is important to a team, and they'll feel real good about going in and regrouping, knowing that they are out in front.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Time here for likely a couple plays if they want it, but with the field position what it is, maybe better suited to just sit on this one?
I'm with you totally. I would sit on it and get into the locker room and start over. But if they do decide to try and make a play, we know what the basics are. You run draw, you run screen. I would maybe run a little swing pass and try and get my lineman out in space and see if they can chop a hole into the secondary and see if he can run a little bit.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
3 down.
Now Cousins. Going deep for Diggs. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Adrian Amos with a pick. And he will be brought down as time is now run out on this first half of action. So we have reached halftime here in a tight 2-point contest. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. This fielded at the 2. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see.
I'm coming.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Rodgers lets this one rip toward Graham. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete. There to knock that one away defensively, Eric Kendricks. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part. It got them the football. But you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away. And it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football and now zapped right back in the other direction. That'll wind up being a 50-yard punt, though they do get 10 back on the return. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Throwing, Cousins. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
Cousins. And a throw there going to be incomplete.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. Colquitt on to kick as he sends it away. On the return is Williams. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
A run on 1st down, but it's not going to get them much. Maybe a yard, and that's all. Now it looks like we'll get a timeout, and we will. We've got an injured Packer on the field. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Target. Shift. Watch the shift. Watch out. Check. Kill. Turn up. Kill. Turn up. Over.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Williams. And he'll get about 3 here as he's out to the 30.
Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety of being able to hit people with the run in the pass. But in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right. It might go to them in this game.
I like that. MVU. Well done.
All day, every day, any day.
Throwing is Rodgers on third down. Got a man. That's Allison. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. Rodgers to Allison. Good for a Green Bay first down. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Shotgun now for Rodgers. Looking deep for Adams. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
There's a throw over the middle. It's taken in by his tight end. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A gain of 13. It's a 1st down.
1st and 10 at the 48-yard line.
Rodgers now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Rodgers again now. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
He's crashing. He's checking crash.
On 2nd down, Williams. And an alley to run. And he's got this down to the 35. A gain of 13. It's a 1st down.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. This one to the right, caught by Valdez-Scantling. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
1st and 10 at the 13-yard line.
Go. Go.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And Graham's got it. Complete. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. The dump off good for 8 there on 1st down. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
26. 26. He's moving. He's moving, boys. He's moving.
Now Rodgers. Yeah, he's got it. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
2nd and goal, and they will try again from the 2-yard line.
Yeah, let's get sack lunch.
And again, it's Rodgers. He hauls it in. Valdez-Scantling for the Packers touchdown. Marquez Valdez-Scantling, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. On is Mason Crosby for the point after. And that makes it a 9-point game.
Next to score, Packers 16, Vikings 7.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone.
The Vikings take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Second and 6, just inside the 30.
Hey, come on now, come on now.
On second down, this is Madison. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5.
That's it, baby.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Open man is Thielen. It's complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 17 yards, first down, Vikings.
And the Vikings first down.
Cousins now 9 of 17 through the air. On play action, Cousins. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Give the sack to Blake Martinez. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. 3 quarters have come and gone. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
16, Vikings 7.
Kirk Cousins last year started all 16 games, but only led the Vikes to just 1 fourth-quarter comeback like he's trying to do here. Throwing on second and long. Cousins. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. 3rd and long for Cousins. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Preston Smith comes in for the sack.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it.
We're good. 51, Mike 51. In your face.
Cousins to throw for it on 4th. Going deep for Diggs. And no, it's incomplete. The Vikings unable to convert here on 4th. And the Packers are going to get the football back in excellent field position. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Rodgers gives this to Jamal Williams. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
He'll take a shot for the end zone. And is it a touchdown? No signal. No, they say incomplete.
Quarterbacking 101. Never force the ball into double coverage, especially not this close to the goal line. The windows are so tight, you just don't want to force it in there because it could be tipped up and picked off.
The Packers going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. From the gun, it's Rodgers. He's got his man, Valdez-Scantling. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down.
First and 10 at the 10-yard line.
Check over. Hey, orbit.
Rodgers now on first down. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
3rd and 8.
The Packers on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is 3rd and 8.
Hey, you.
Working from the gun, Rodgers. He hauls it in. Valdez-Scantling for the Packers touchdown. Marquez Valdez-Scantling with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. Now Crosby for the point after. And that one could be important as that makes this a 16-point lead. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
Let's go.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And last time out, went for it on 4th down, turned it over, gave them great field position, turned into 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on 4th down
Caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for them. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now they've got to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence.
A little bit of space there for the first down run, as that's going to get him about 5 yards. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
At the 30-yard line.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5.
Rip left, rip left.
Another carry now for Madison. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. It's a first down on a gain of 10.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently.
Jahan, ready? Hey, keep it up, keep it up.
Here's Madison running on first down. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
It's just me and you.
Here's a give to Madison running right. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll make it 3rd down.
And it's 3rd down.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Draw play, Madison. And he's going to be stopped here at the 43, and that is not near enough to pick up the first. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. Throwing is Cousins. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Packers are going to get the football back in excellent field position. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll run it with Williams. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play there, 2nd down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Another running situation on the doorstep as they come up 2nd and 10. They run it again with Williams. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation.
Check, watch 54, watch 54. Don't get nervous.
To throw, it's Rodgers. And intercepted, maybe the turning point they need. Picked up by the former first-rounder Trey Waynes. And a very good return as he'll take it all the way up to the 40-yard line. 2-score game here in the 4th, and that pick, it kind of keeps the door ajar, doesn't it?
It does, and you wonder about their strategy because with a 2-score lead, you would think maybe you're just sitting on it and trying to drain some clock. It's almost like they felt like, hey, we've got a good cushion. We can keep pressing it. It ended up costing them.
Following the interception, Cousins. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that will be incomplete with a clock showing 18 seconds now to go. Tried to go for the big one there on 2nd down. Now they're likely down to their final 2 plays.
And you know they've got to keep going for the big shot, right? So defensively, you play what they call top down. Nothing behind you. Make everything get completed in front.
On 3rd down, Cousins. He's going to let it fly. And this is intercepted. And that should do it. Adrian Amos with a pick.
The Packers take over 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And 3 timeouts remaining here defensively, but really not much reason to use them at this point as this one is all but over.
If they use the timeouts here, it's strictly for show. We got a plan to catch.
It's a gain of 16 and a first down for the green and gold. So it's all over. A Green Bay victory, and they were really helped by their defense forcing 3 turnovers.
I think what we saw in this one, today's defense. And what I mean by that is in the old days, pitching shutouts was big time. That was paramount. But the big thing was holding people down, holding down their yardage, right? Don't let them throw the ball through the air and gain a lot of... But now, it's about taking the ball away. Taking away possessions, getting the ball back for their offense. They had 3 takeaways in this one, and it led them to victory.
So for Green Bay, they make amends for their Week 1 loss by winning their home opener. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, they'll drop to 0-2. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.
Frustration, I was waiting to shine. My father told me don't be soft, so now I'm taking what's mine. I define myself as ambitious, young, black, and gifted. Master P, my masterpiece. That mean I don't got no limits.